They clear this one. They clear this one. Come please, Governor. To this scene, also a different one, inspired by your visit here. And
New Yorkers feel this very personally. They do. There's just, the Jewish community is strong, but everybody has a friend, everybody knows somebody.
בואו מפה מצד שמאל של הסלע, זה תמונה.
I want to let people here know that they're not alone.
Please, just the governor. One more thing.
Last station. She was a Jewish girl that was not identified, but we insisted to find the last one. The last victim from Surfside was a New York.
People don't have a chance to sit back and think about this. They have to do something.
It's been a whirlwind 24 hours of seeing people in their darkest pain, but also hopeful that there can be a peaceful resolution of this long-standing conflict. What I witnessed was, in many senses, more horrific than I had imagined. First, there's the personal stories of searing pain to see a loved one stripped from your arms and taken hostage or shot in front of you. It's obviously been a life-changing experience for me to come into a war zone so quickly after the assault, the attack, the massacre. There have been conflicts in the past, but always before it's been military against military, government against government. And this is more akin to the Holocaust, the slaughter of innocent people. These were not people who got in harm's way during a military conflict between armies. These are people that were targeted. There was an intentionality which is so cruel and depraved. And to the people who are protesting, I know there's been anti-Semitism for a long time. People reject Israel's right to exist. I don't agree with that. And they have a right to peacefully protest. But there can be no denial of what happened or any kind of equivalency with this particular attack because it was so heinous. And I am concerned about humanitarian aid getting to Gaza. We're all human beings. And this is a moment of moral clarity. All people of good conscience should condemn attacks of terrorism wherever they occur. And if they're not stopped here in Jerusalem and in Israel, they will find their ways to the streets of our own country and other countries. That has to be the warning and the lesson from this. This is not a fight over boundaries at this time, as other conflicts have been. This is a different level. I respect people's right to protest, but also I call on people to understand that there is no equivalency in the way this originated. But I don't want anyone who's an innocent victim, who's not part of Hamas, to lose their lives in the process. That's not right either. And bringing home these hostages is so critically important, to sit there and hold the hands of loved ones who are weeping because they don't know what happened to someone who is completely innocent, who did nothing wrong. I want to reinforce to the government here, as President Biden did, their lives are important and they need to be brought home. That's what the purpose of this trip was. And I'm happy to have conversations with anyone about this. You know, free debate is a hallmark of democracy. Israel is a democracy. The United States is a democracy. These are not terrorist organizations like Hamas. There can be no equivalency when speaking about the atrocities of one and the right to defend another. I learned about my father shockingly when I was finally able to get internet connection on the plane, early morning our time. And I literally talked to him from the JFK terminal, talked to him in his rough Irish way when he said, "I'm proud of you, Dolly, but keep your goddamn head down." And so that's how my dad talked. One perhaps life-changing thing my dad did was when I was 17 years old, looking at colleges. And we looked at a couple of colleges, some girls' colleges and others. And he made a comment after I looked at those and looked at Syracuse University. He said, that other college, that seems to be the place you go to learn to be maybe the wife of a congressman, but Syracuse is where you go to be a congressman, because they had a strong political science department. And I was 17 years old. I volunteered on campaigns, but never dreamed I'd ever run for Congress. I was always behind the scenes. And to know that a 17-year-old girl had that kind of confidence and thought of a future that she had not even envisioned for her father, I told that story the night I was elected to Congress. And we wept together. So my dad had a big influence on my life.
לא מוצא אחי, בוא תראה לי, טוב אני צריך ללכת. Aquí una máquina de coser incinerada, porque estos lugares son lugares de trabajo, los kibutz, tuvimos más.